What's up everyone, The Conjuring, The Devil Made Me Do It just came out, so let's review it. Real quick, if you enjoyed the video, don't forget to like and subscribe, and leave a comment down below telling me what you think of The Conjuring, The Devil Made Me Do It. And this is going to be a spoiler-free video, so if you haven't seen it, you're safe to watch it. Anyways, let's get into it. So this is the third Conjuring film and the 8th film in the kind of like Conjuring universe with Annabelle the Nun and Curse of La Llorona. It's directed by Michael Chavez, who also directed Curse of La Llorona, which wasn't great from a few years ago. And this movie, as being the third Conjuring movie in the franchise, first one not directed by James Wan, it's a much different take on the franchise as a whole, where it's not in a like ghost house, you know, where a family moves in and they're haunted by a ghost. So it's kind of really its own thing, where it follows Arnie Johnson, where he essentially becomes possessed by a demon and he kills someone, but he's possessed. So it kind of follows the arc of he didn't actually kill him because he was possessed by a ghost. And it kind of follows that a little bit, while it also follows the Warrens, who are trying to help him and trying to get rid of this demon that's been possessing him. So that's really the plot of the movie without spoiling anything. So while this is definitely a unique movie in the franchise, I think it absolutely works. It's got everything you want from a Conjuring movie, whether that be, you know, the great jump scares, you know, like the fair jump scares that just really feel justified, but they just look visually creepy and just scare the hell out of you. The Warrens, who obviously have become, you know, some of the best characters in horror film history. Ed and Lorraine Warren, they're in this movie quite prominently, which is awesome. I'm so glad to see them back, and I hope we do get more movies with them in the future. But it's awesome to see them in here, and they're great in here. And it also has the intriguing like historical back plots, where you have like a ghost story that's based on a true story, and that definitely always adds to the fear factor of the film. And I think that's, once again, that along with the first two Conjuring films, that is present, and that definitely enhances the experience of the movie. Though it is missing its direction by James Wan, I do think Michael Chavez does do a great job directing. Not quite as good as James Wan, I don't believe, but he does do a great job, and he proves that, you know, Curse of La Llorona was not, you know, his best work. So it's definitely great to see that, and definitely I wouldn't mind seeing him direct another Conjuring film in the future. But it's just a really good Conjuring film, I think. The plot is really intriguing. I like the concept of, you know, what would happen if the devil, like a demon, possessed someone and, you know, made them kill someone. How could a court comprehend that, or how could the justice system comprehend that kind of idea? I like that quite a bit. It's not explored in this movie as much as the trailers might make you think it is. It's a lot more about the Warrens' investigation into helping the kid with getting rid of the demon. It's a lot more about that, but it definitely does have the elements of the justice system part present. But it's really an intriguing concept, and I think in a concept that's explored good enough, not as much as I wanted it to, but it's definitely explored. It's definitely a really nice concept within this subgenre of horror. Though once again, it doesn't, as the movie goes on, it follows that concept less, as it dives more into what the Warrens are doing. And I do enjoy the Warren part. It's much more of kind of like an adventure investigation type, a supernatural plot. I do enjoy that part of the movie as well, but overall the plot is really solid, and that's a huge accomplishment for a Conjuring movie, as the ones that haven't been so great, the biggest issues have been the plots. So the plot is really solid here. This movie is also just really entertaining, as are most of the Conjuring movies, aside from, once again, those kind of 3 ones that are bad. It's just, you know, it's really easy to watch. It's, you know, just under 2 hours. It doesn't feel like that. It feels like it's 90 minutes or less. You're invested in the characters this entire time. The plot evolves enough throughout the movie just to keep you invested, and the characters are really intriguing. You care about what's happening, especially once again, that's extremely helped by the Warrens, who, even without James Wan's direction, are still great in this movie, like I said. And along with that, the acting in this movie is also really good, not just from Ed and Lorraine Warren, but also from pretty much everyone in the movie. The acting is just, you know, top-notch stuff. I think it's absolutely fine for a horror movie, and I have no complaints with the acting. But once again, the Warrens are the standouts as usual with this movie. And it's so nice to see them back in a Conjuring movie, as we haven't seen them full-time in a Conjuring movie since 2016 with The Conjuring 2. Obviously, they were in Annabelle Comes Home briefly at the beginning, but, you know, they haven't been the leads in a movie since Conjuring 2. So it's really nice to see them back in this one. While this movie is really scary, as, you know, it is a Conjuring movie, I think it's one of the least scary movies in the franchise. Maybe that was just my, like, personal viewing of it, but I didn't find it, like, super scary as, you know, the first 2 Conjuring movies are. Definitely scary, absolutely. I would compare it to The Nun, with how scary The Nun was. Nun for me would also be the other least scary movie in the franchise, though there are some really good jump scares. And once again, one of the things I love about the Conjuring movies is just kind of like the visuals, like Annabelle or The Nun, just things you look at and make you scared, not, you know, the like in your face jump scares, you know, actual, like, you know, images that scare you. That's always been the stuff that's been so great about this franchise to me, and there is a good amount of that in this movie. So overall, I just think this movie is a really solid Conjuring movie. It definitely works in pretty much all regards. I do have one complaint about that, and that is towards the end of the movie. I'm not going to spoil anything, but towards the end, the Warrens and their kind of investigation plot, it gets pretty ridiculous and kind of like action-centered. And that, to me, that's very out of character for the Warrens, which, once again, I don't really like that. The Warrens are like historical, real people that actually existed. And this doesn't feel like something that happened towards the end of the movie. It just doesn't feel like something that happened. Obviously, they did make it up for the movie, but it just doesn't remotely feel realistic. It was really a letdown towards the end, and that was definitely by far my biggest complaint from the movie. It really kind of sucked me out of it. I mean, because once again, I love the Warrens and I love their kind of investigation parts, but they're not, these like supernatural, like ghost fighter action type people kind of stuff. And they were towards the end. I didn't really like that. And it just had a lot of like big elements, big things that happened to them, that kind of game-changing things that would change the whole arc of their characters that happened to them. I didn't really vibe with that. Though it wasn't movie ruining, it was just kind of a little irritating towards the end. But like I said, I think this is just a really good Conjuring movie. It's scary, it's really entertaining, the plot is really solid, the acting is great, and then the Warrens come out as the stars of the show, as they usually do with all the movies they're in. They are just so great as kind of this duo in the horror, in really the horror genre as a whole, but definitely within this Conjuring universe. They're easily the best part about it, and easily the biggest takeaway from it. I'm so glad to see them back, and I hope we do get them in more movies in the future. I hope this isn't it. It shouldn't be it. And I enjoy their presence as really like the ghost investigators in the movie. So this is definitely another needed successful entry in the Conjuring franchise, though it is different quite a bit from the previous two films. This still makes it really a successful trilogy, and it really kind of reinvests me in this Conjuring universe, and I can't wait to see what's next in this Conjuring universe. So I'm going to give Conjuring the Devil Made Me Do It a 4 out of 5 stars and at 85%. So that's going to do it for my review of the Conjuring the Devil Made Me Do It. If you enjoyed the video, don't forget to like and subscribe and comment down below. Tell me what you think of the movie. I'm definitely excited to see where this franchise goes next. I'm still invested in it. I really enjoy most of the movies. Once again, there's a few I don't enjoy, but for the most part, I really enjoy what this franchise tries to do, though it doesn't always work. So I'm definitely excited to see where it goes next. Anyways, that's going to do it for the video. Thanks for watching and have a great day.